Hi everyone, so I was just about to take a break and finish my work day of reading cards for my 3 signs, and I received some feedback and some comments from a personal reading that I sent out yesterday to a person who was asking me a lot of questions about a relationship that has ended. Okay, the interaction, the connection has ended. There's no more communication, and I'm sure that you can also relate. A lot of you can also relate. Now, when you ask for a reading and you ask questions like, do you see this person coming back? So do you see my ex coming back to me? In what way will they communicate? Do you see us getting married? You need to understand that the tarot is basically mirroring the energy that is within you, that is on your mind, that is in your heart. And then when we're looking at the person that you're dealing with, it can be difficult to predict what their intentions will be in the near future, because energy is fluid. People change. People are changing constantly, especially with the energies that are happening now. So let me get this straight. If you're asking specific questions like that, and at the end you're very disappointed because you want specific timelines, when my cards clearly say when, in how many months or in how many weeks specifically will someone come back, we can't get caught up in the when and the how of how things unfold. The way I work is my cards tell me what is blocking you. What is blocking you to achieve love? What is blocking you to be able to live a life that is aligned with your truth, aligned with who you are at this time? Because you probably went through that relationship for a reason. And just because in the cards it says, yes, this is a soulmate, this means that there was a very strong magnetic bond and attraction between the two of you. It doesn't mean that this person is necessarily good for you. And this is what I'm trying to say, because I have to see how the cards interact with each other. So when certain cards come up and they're combined with other cards that are not so uplifting and positive, then I have to give it to you straight. I have to be honest and tell you, this is what is supposed to happen. This is what is going to happen if this plays out in this way. Now, I know a lot of people are frustrated and disappointed in how things are playing out in their love lives. You're not the only one. You are part of a soul group that needs to learn major lessons about self-love, about self-worth, about setting boundaries. I mean, if someone is not answering your text messages and not clearly communicating their feelings with you, then I feel like that's a very big red flag. Because how are you supposed to create a relationship that is based on zero communication skills, zero emotional awareness? How are we supposed to get together and not be able to communicate our feelings? So I think this is a very difficult time, because people are finally being faced with the truth, and it's difficult. The truth hurts, and I understand that. And we can't get caught up in the labels. And this is what I'm hearing from my spirit guides. Labels like soulmates, twin flames, soul connection, sexual unions, sacred unions. I mean, these are all labels that were meant to identify different types of relationships and connections in the 3D. But in the 5D, they have no meaning. So whether this person's a soulmate or not, is he or she showing up for you in the way that you deserve? Is he or she showing up for you in a way that speaks to your truth? Is he or she showing up for you in a way that makes you feel secure and comfortable and loved and safe? So if you're not feeling all these things and you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells for this person because you don't want to rattle the cage, then I feel like you're going to be facing a lot of hard truths. And I've said this in my videos, in my previous videos. Being an Aries, I am going to be as honest as I can be to help you to find self-empowerment, for you to make decisions that are based on your truth, on your well-being, on who you are, on what you believe in. And maybe at the beginning of your relationship, you and this person and this soulmate or whatever this person is, were walking on the same path, but at some point you lost each other. And it's completely normal. It's completely normal. We all evolve, we all change within our relationships. I mean, even the relationships we have with our family and our friends change, because if I change my way of thinking and my friend's way of thinking always stays the same, I'm going to have a hard time connecting with that person. So it's up to me to set the boundary and say, should I allow this person to still be a part of my life if they're not bringing any truth and joy and fulfillment? I mean, we tend to walk on this path and we meet other people for different reasons and for a season. So it doesn't mean that it's permanent. It doesn't mean that it's gonna last forever, unfortunately. And I was listening to an astrologer yesterday. His name is David Palmer. He's my favorite astrologer. There are many astrologers out there that I absolutely adore, but he's really raw and he's really direct and straightforward. And he says it as it is. Relationships at this point in the game are going to test your foundation of who you are. It's going to also challenge these traditional ways of getting into union, you know, the traditional beliefs that we have about relationships in terms of commitment, in terms of marriage. These are all themes that are going to come up this year leading up to 2020. So we have that opposition with Pluto and Saturn in the South Node in Capricorn. And Capricorn is a very difficult sign in that aspect, because it's all about our foundation, our karma, our truth, it's really testing our ability to see what is best for us and what is not best for us. And it's shaking our foundation. So if you've been in a relationship and you're feeling like it's getting rocked, it's completely normal. It's testing your relationship to see if it's going to face the test of time. It's going to endure what is coming up. So I think we have to stop getting attached to this idea that there's this one person in the world that's going to make us feel whole again, that's going to show us the way. Maybe if this person is spiritually on the same page and who's confident and secure about their own situation, someone who is already solid, you know, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, financially, you know, and if someone's already walking on, you know, shaky ground within themselves, within their life, then it's hard to meet you at that same level if you are already on solid ground. So it's very difficult to predict. I mean, the tarot is not supposed to be used as a tool to predict the future, because the future is in our hands. Our future is ultimately in our hands. So what we do today will affect and impact our future. And just because the card said soulmates and You know, it said something that kind of like brought up some emotional attachment and said, okay, well, is she or he or she is she or he a soulmate? Yeah, they're a soulmate. It doesn't mean that they're good for you though. I mean, my ex was a soulmate from a past life, but in this life he wasn't meeting me at a place where I needed him to be, emotionally, physically, psychologically. You know, he wasn't treating me the way I thought I needed to be treated. So what? He was a soulmate from a past life. Does that mean I'm gonna stop everything and neglect all these red flags and these signs that I'm getting from the universe that are telling me that there's a better path for me, that there's a better person out there for me, and that I deserve better? So it doesn't mean that we have to get stuck on that label necessarily because that person is a soulmate. So what? I don't care who you are, a soulmate, a twin flame, someone who has so much money and power. If you're not treating me with the respect and the love and the safety and the comfort, and you're not providing me with that solid foundation that I think I deserve, then I don't care who you are. You're not going to enter my vicinity. And this is about setting boundaries. This is about self-love. It's about knowing your limitations. It's about knowing what you deserve. So let go of the labels. Let go of whether or not this person is coming back or not. I mean, if the person is not communicating with you today, then for me, that's a sign. That's a sign for you to move on with your life. Because the more we hang on to the person in the past, the more it depletes us. The more it causes us to feel depressed and fearful and insecure. I think we need to start learning how to detach. And that's hard. That's not easy. It's easier said than done. I know, I can hear you saying it. But you need to start thinking in a different way. And that's maybe going to take some reprogramming of your thought process. This thought and this vision and this illusion of needing a soulmate by your side no matter what, and no matter what cost. You have to let go of that. If that person or that situation is not meeting you with integrity, with respect, and with love, and emotionally meeting you at the same place too. If that person is not expressing themselves and not understanding your emotions, then it's not a good match. Whether that's your soulmate from a past life or a twin flame or whatever the heck, label you have out there. Yes, our exes were our soulmates, but it doesn't mean they're the person for us. We have to honor them. We have to thank them because we had to encounter them again in this life. If I saw an ex, or if I encountered this ex in a previous life, and I again, encounter them in this life, it means that a lesson was not learned. The karmic lesson was not learned from that previous life. So if we come together in this life again, it's again challenging us to see, will you learn this lesson in this lifetime? And it's going to be a different lesson for everybody. For me, it was self-love. It was self-respect. It was self-sufficiency. It was about not relying on someone just because they had a good job, just because they were able to provide financially. No, if they can do that, that's great. But are they able to treat you with respect? Are they able to honor your emotions when you're expressing your emotions? Or are they just minimizing how you feel, and they consider your emotions to be drama and reaction and theatrical reactions? Then you're not seeing eye to eye. This is not the person for you. So it's gonna be different for everybody. I am a little bit more advanced within this soul group that I am channeling for. But this is why I'm here. This is why I decided to open up my channel. This is why I felt the calling from spirit, because I've gone through this. I know what it feels like, and I know it's gonna hurt. I've been there, I've done that. So please hang in there. This is a difficult time. You're not gonna get the answers that you want. You're not. I'm not gonna be able to tell you if your ex is the one. You know, all I can tell you is based on what is the energy now moving forward. But again, energy is fluid, it can change. I want to be able to give you clarity on whether this person will be able to offer you what you need. Okay, so if the cards are like directing you in another direction, they are just telling you new beginnings. You know, new beginnings are new beginnings. It's a new beginning with a new person. Change your direction means focus on someone else, focus on something else. So we can't get hung up on our exes, on these labels, and we can't get so caught up in the emotional world that it's creating for us. We have to honor those emotions. We have to figure out what we feel and why we felt it, what wounds need to be healed, and that takes time and that takes feeling them. But let's not attach those emotions to our ex constantly, or to the person that we're dealing with, because the person you're dealing with is a mirror. The person is mirroring back who you are, the qualities and the negative traits that you portray are being mirrored back to you from your partner, whether you like it or not. So there's going to be a lot of reality checks for a lot of people who are not aligned, who are not with the right person, and it's going to be difficult. And there's going to be endings. There's going to be breakups. There's going to be shakeups. There's going to be sudden realizations. So I'm here to tell you that it's going to be all right. And that at the end of the day, spirit and your angels only want the best for you. Only. Like, they are behind you. They're on the sides. They are in front of you. You have a whole team of spirit guides around you, supporting you. You just got to reach out and ask. And no, they might not give you what you want at that moment. They might not tell you what you want at that moment because you're not ready. You're not ready to go to that step. There's some work that needs to be done sometimes. And spirit and your angels always guide you towards what you need in this lifetime. You know, this life is not, we're not here to have a party constant. It's not a party. You know, we're here on like a type of field trip where we're exploring and we're moving forward and we're taking what we learned and we're integrating it and we're moving on. It's constant. It's this motion of going forward. You know, you're going on a field trip, you're going forward on the bus and you're exploring and you're taking it in. But at the end of the day, you gotta let things go that don't speak to you, that don't resonate with you. So that being said, I think I'm gonna go take a nice nap and eat a little something. I've been at this for the last 4 to 5 hours. So if this message resonated with you, please comment and like. If it didn't, I'm sorry. I really hope that you guys are able to understand where I'm coming from and what tarot is really all about. And I'm here to empower you. If you want to stay focused on your ex, then I'm not the tarot reader for you. I'm not the person who's going to zero in on your ex and what they're doing and where they're going and how they're feeling. I don't think we should be looking to the past. I think we should honor the past. We should take the lessons that come with it, but we should be moving forward. Okay, so on that note, please have a great Tuesday, and I will catch you later.